to catch up on some things. Um, my last couple of videos, they've been like lagging, like a couple weeks behind. These ones should be a little better. Today's the 16th. Um, so it should just be about 7 days behind. Um, things are going good with me. Recovery is, my recovery is going good. Um, I'm working with a guy, and he used to be on the farm. He's not anymore, but it's he's kind of on a downward spiral. He's drinking again and smoking marijuana pretty regularly. I'm finding it's hard to work with him. His attitude sucks, and I know what the deal is. So it's real hard. It's a struggle for me. Marijuana pretty regularly. I'm finding it's hard to work with him. His attitude sucks, and I know what the deal is. So it's real hard. It's a struggle for me. To just put up with that on a daily basis. It's not really tempting. It's I don't know. It's kind of um, good because I can see as an outsider, on like the other end of everything, how how people look and how they act and just the things that change. And so that's kind of interesting, just to see that every day. But it's tough though too. Um, I kind of want to talk a little bit about consistency. Um, I have not been consistent at anything other than just being not consistent. Um, and I guess I've consistently used drugs um, for a long period of time, not forever, but for a long period of time. Um, so I'm trying to just change, the areas that I'm consistent in, and it's uh, it's been tough because you know just things feel like they're not moving along. There's no progression, um, but I mean there is good positive things happening, and so I don't know. That's a tough one, but it kind of is just like doing what needs to be done every day, and every day in the moment you're not seeing any progress. It doesn't feel like anything out of the ordinary is going on. But then when you look back, there's big changes. I could just look back 7 months ago, 8 months ago, and see where I was, and it's kind of hard because I've come a long way, and so I almost forget who I was and how I was feeling. I have a couple quotes here. One is consistency is an underappreciated form of intentional magic disguised as a mundane doing. And that's by Victoria Erickson, author of Edge of Wonder. And another one, isn't it funny how day by day nothing changes, but when you look back, everything is different? C.S. Lewis. Yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about. So, there's just a few examples. And, my therapy class this week, we kind of talked a little bit about resiliency. Um, and oh yeah, the therapist, she kind of put me on the spot. She was like a substitute, a stand-in, and she's taught our class a couple other times, and she's like, "Oh, Brandon, how are the videos going?" And I was like, "Oh wow, I'm surprised you remembered." I must have just brought it up. It's not something I really bring up very often. So she kind of put me on the spot, and she's like, "Well, do you mind if we, show one to the class?" So that was a stretch for me, but um, I'm like, "Well, you could check them out if you want," and I had her put one on, but it wasn't me. Um, it was Lee Rankin. So thank you, Lee, again. everybody loved it. I guess I don't feel like, I don't know, like people really want to hear me that much compared to other people. Or maybe it's just, it's kind of put on the spot. Um, so I don't know. It's kind of strange, these videos. Um, I notice myself kind of monitoring, what I say, or trying to at least. And a lot of times I do pretty good. um, because it's like, wow, if I say something, potentially a lot of people can hear that, so um, if I say something about somebody, or something that might hurt or affect somebody, um, it can get around to them. So I don't know, that's kind of a a strange thing that I'm working on, um, handling, because I mean, I don't know. I know some things probably need to be said, and some things don't. Um, but I don't know. So that's just something I've never really felt or had to think about before in that intensity. Um, but what I did really notice this week is, man, like how emotional I am, um, like mentally. And I don't know. I guess emotions are like felt, but um, my mind works a lot all the time. I might be quiet a lot of times, but my mind is like really going most of the time, and pretty fast about a lot of things. And so I was kind of just thinking about some things at work and so forth, and they were making me feel some kind of way, and I was just like struggling, just with what is really nothing, just like a battle in my head, and it has me feeling, negative and positive and negative and positive and up and down, and it's just crazy. And I don't know if maybe I do that to myself because, you know, I guess, um, being an ex-addict, I love the highs, um, because I do love the high highs, and I don't love the low lows. But it's hard sometimes just to be like on a even keel, um, mentally and emotionally. It's hard for me to be even and just like that. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody out there. But I guess sometimes I feel like if I'm not going up or down, then then something's wrong. So that's kind of something I've been working on. And I kind of have just been dealing with things like 24-hour period to 24-hour period, and just like it's weird because I'll have to like really hold off on like saying or doing certain things, and because I know I'm feeling a certain way, and it's proved out to be beneficial because 24 hours later something will happen or someone will say something, and I'll be feeling different again. And so it's very roller coaster-ish in my emotions, and I'm just really starting to notice that, and maybe especially just with work, um, because I have like a lot of close interactions with people, and so I've been noticing that, um, because other than that, I mean, my interactions with other people are kind of limited. Um, at the farm, I don't necessarily have to like be around people or hang out with people, um, and so that's crazy. But at work, you're kind of like forced to work with people, and so um, that's definitely something that I'm working on, and that I can look back in the past and be like, well, whenever I was working and using at the same time, like, those interactions and relationships, professional, they did. They were, they were affected by the use, and now I'm not, and but I'm dealing with it on the other end, so that's kind of crazy. And it's definitely just educational and taxing sometimes. Um, but things are really good. A couple things, before I just say goodbye. My plan is to start like a handyman business um, around like the first of next year, and I have like a business plan and everything written out. And so that is the plan. Um, Eventually leading into like a HVAC company 4 years from now. But I was reading a paper, and it talked about the Secretary of State, making it only $1 to start your own business, LLC, or trade name, whatever. And so I did. I took the opportunity. So that was, a goal um, that I got to check off again. And so that feels good. I got that there, so I don't ever have to go back and do that. Um, so that's like pretty awesome. And doing it, I'm like, wow, do I feel any different? No, but I should kind of feel a little different, you know, um, because it's something I've been trying to do, and just for one reason or another, it's there have been barriers, or just I haven't been able to, and so it felt good to do that, and register with the IRS and everything. So get an EIN. So all that stuff is cool. And another thing is, I'm looking into education. I want to really be like a master at um, troubleshooting all sorts of heating and air conditioning equipment, residential mainly, but I want to be like the best, like fix the problem guy out there, diagnose, and the best diagnose person. So that way, people want to fix their equipment, and if it makes sense financially, they can. Um, because it's a industry where it's ever changing, equipment's changing. New technologies coming out, and I just want to be good. There's definitely people and companies out there who are real good, and there's some who aren't. So um, I'm looking into schooling with that, and so within the next like 30 days or something, I should really like be onto something. So I'm excited, and hope everybody is excited, and just like going after things of their own, or playing